Today, we're talking about an absolutely incredible transformation. We're going to look at how a simple, humble family hauler became an absolute monster of the road. But you know, this is way more than just a story about a truck. It's really about one man's journey, one that took decades and was fueled by nothing but pure passion and vision. Okay, so to really wrap your head around what we're dealing with here, let's just start with a single number: 2,000 horsepower. Yep, you heard that right. That's the kind of raw, earth-shaking power we're talking about. And just to put that in perspective for you, that's more than double the horsepower of a modern Formula One car. Insane! But it's not just about what's under the hood. It's about presence, right? And this truck, it's basically a rolling concert hall. It's packing a 7,000-watt sound system. I mean, can you even imagine the sound pressure coming off of that thing? It's just wild. So the big question is, how on earth does a rusted, dented, sticker-covered old farm truck turn into, well, this mechanical masterpiece? The answer, it turns out, it's found in one man's decades-long journey of just pure, stubborn determination. To really get where this thing ended up, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. And this story starts with a truck that its owner, Mike Mufich, affectionately called Greenie.
I mean, the owner's own description really says it all, doesn't it? This was not some hidden gem just waiting for a polish. It was, in his own words, a mishmash of dents, rust, and, yeah, bizarre fish stickers. It was a work truck, plain and simple.
But see, to a 4-year-old Mike, Greenie was basically the center of his universe. It was so much more than just a pile of metal. It was his ticket to adventure, hauling wood with his dad, going on camping trips, all those core memories of bouncing around in the bed with his friends. That was Greenie. And this is the turning point. When Mike gets the keys at 15, all that magic is just gone. That symbol of childhood fun had become this barely running, embarrassing eyesore. All that joy was replaced with pure teenage frustration. And that frustration is what lit the fuse. That's what started this whole crazy journey. So he makes this decision, right? But this wasn't some project that was going to last a summer or even a year. No, this would end up spanning the most important decades of his entire life. This was the real, slow-burn evolution of a dream. Just look at this timeline. It really shows you the incredible scale of this commitment. It all kicks off at age 15, and he's funding it with money from a paper route. Through his teens and 20s, the truck gets a bunch of different paint jobs, each one kind of marking a new chapter in his life. But then, at age 30, he makes this massive call to tear it all down to the bare frame and just start over. That decision kicked off the final 12-year push to the finish line. And you gotta remember, this wasn't some professional build with big sponsors. Mike worked in the super intense medical field. The truck, which he built in his own garage, became his therapy. It was a physical outlet, a way to deal with all that stress by, as he put it, smashing some metal every single Saturday for years and years. So after those 12 incredibly intense years of work, Greenie was officially a thing of the past. From the frame up, a totally new beast was born. Street Domination, a true mechanical masterpiece. All right, let's get into the good stuff. What makes Street Domination so unbelievably special? We're going to break it down into 4 key parts. The engine, which is just bonkers. The drivetrain built to handle all that power. The suspension that gives it that killer stance. And of course, that absolutely insane sound system. The heart of this beast is just pure, unadulterated insanity. We're talking a 555 cubic inch big block with a massive 1471 blower sitting on top. That's the kind of hardware you usually see on a top-fueled dragster. It's pushing 30 pounds of boost, making 2,000 horsepower. And you know, just in case that's not quite enough, there's a 250 shot of nitrous on tap. As you do. So all that power has to go somewhere, right? It needs a drivetrain that can actually handle it, without just exploding into a million pieces. That's why it's got a bulletproof Turbo 400 transmission and a Dana 60 rear end that's tough as nails. And it all hits the pavement through these massive 31 by 18-inch Mickey Thompson tires wrapped around custom one-off wheels. And then there's the sound. Remember that 7,000-watt number from the beginning? Well, this is how you get there. It's a completely hand-built system with staggering 19 speakers, including 4 12-inch subs. Get this, 14 of those speakers are custom-mounted right in the truck bed. It's just next level. But here's the thing. As impressive as all those specs are, they really don't tell the whole story. This build is about so much more than just a truck. It's about legacy.
For Mike, this truck is literally a physical timeline of his life. It was there on his very first date with the woman who would become his wife. It was a symbol of motivation for him through his wrestling career, through college, through getting married and becoming a dad. It was there for every single milestone. And when he finally shared the finished truck with the world in 2020, it just exploded. The Street Domination Instagram page went completely viral, pulling in millions and millions of views and turning his very personal passion project into a global sensation. If you could boil this entire decades-long journey down to just one piece of advice, this would be it. This is Mike's message to anybody out there chasing a dream, especially the younger generation. It's simple, it's powerful. Don't give up.
Honestly, this entire story is the perfect definition of one word: perseverance. Street domination is what you get when you push through all the difficulty, all the delays, multiple rebuilds, and even a complete from-the-ground-up restart. It's a powerful reminder that real greatness isn't built overnight. It's forged over a very long time.
You see, this story isn't really just about one person's incredible passion. It's about the potential inside all of us. And it leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What's that long-term project, that goal that seems impossible? What's the dream that you refuse to give up on?